This Ag News Update brought to you by American Implement. Indebted to the past, committed to the future. In a moment, Ag News.
When you've had a best friend for over 50 years, you develop a trust. And the Scott Co-op has been a trusted rural friend since 1957. A co-op keeps money in the area, doing business for and with their members. And that helps keep their hometown thriving with keeping money in the community. Scott Co-op is not just an elevator. It's the rural way of doing business. So, when you see an elevator, remember your friends at Scott Co-op. Wolfter Construction and Irrigation has been around a long time, and a lot of folks have trusted them to design, build, and service all sizes of commercial and on-farm storage for grain and equipment. Wolfter is also known for their outstanding irrigation division, where they stock a complete selection of nozzles, regulators, drops, gear drives, electrical, and structure components. Looking for an electric motor? Wolfter has a large selection in single and three-phase. Next time, reach out to the pros who have decades of experience at taking care of business the right way. Wolfter Construction and Irrigation.
USDA says farm sector production expenses, including those associated with operator dwellings, are forecast to decrease by $4.6 billion to $344.2 billion in 2020 in nominal terms. That means not adjusted yet for inflation. And that's a 1.3% drop from the previous year. Now, these expenses represent the cost of all inputs used to produce farm commodities and strongly affect farm profitability. Now, although the overall projection expenses are projected to drop, there are differences between some specific expenses. Those specific expenses, forecast to increase in 2020, account for about 69% of the total and are projected to collectively rise by $6 billion relative to 2019 before inflation adjustment. Now, these include the two largest categories, that of feed purchases and cash labor. Now, in contrast, expenses expected to decrease account for 31% of total expenses and are forecast to collectively decline by $10.6 billion between 2019 and 2020. And more specifically, livestock and poultry purchases expected to drop 7.5%, pesticide by 2.1%, oil and fuel spending by 13.9%. Now, interest rate costs are forecast to be at their lowest level since 2014, dropping by 27% from last year as a result of those historic low interest rates. More in a moment.
Would you like to see something done about high gas prices and low unemployment? Western Plains Energy in Campus, Kansas is doing something about it. They're a proud part of Growth Energy, America's ethanol supporters, and they employ 38 people and will be adding more following the expansion. Ethanol fuel not only reduces the cost of regular gasoline, it's good for the environment and keeps money right here in the United States while supporting local rural jobs. Western Plains Energy, doing something for the future.
The cost of everything has gone up dramatically over the last 75 years. With one exception: keeping electricity affordable.
Wheatland Electric, delivering energy for life, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Well, the Kansas City Federal Reserve Bank says that the outlook for agriculture credit condition in the 10th District improved in the third quarter, due in part to rising commodity prices and additional government aid to producers. After dropping sharply in the second quarter due to COVID-19 disruptions, prices for most ag commodities began to rebound in the summertime. The Fed report said increasing demand supported additional increases in crop prices through the third quarter, then into October. That expanded profit opportunities for many producers going into the now completed harvest season. As a result, credit conditions deteriorated at a significantly slower pace. The number of bankers reporting declines in farm income and loan repayment rates dropped from the prior quarter. Well, and the ink is now officially dry on the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership that was signed by China and 14 other nations. The signing ceremony came about 8 years of talks that led up to one of the world's largest regional free trade agreements. Now, this pact is somewhat limited in scope, but it still covers about 2.2 billion people. Now that's larger than any previous regional free trade agreement and will likely improve China's image as a domestic economic power in Southeast Asia. It also comes about after the U.S. withdrawal from sweeping trade deals that appear to be reshaping some global relationships. Other countries continue to sign trade deals. Some trade experts say that American importers may lose ground. More in a moment.
S&S Trailer Sales, with 2 locations in Ness City, Kansas, is where everybody goes to buy or rent trailers. They feature the all-new, all-aluminum Mauer grain trailer with all of the electric options, the easy-to-load detached trailers, and a huge stock of header trailers. At the west location, you'll find bumper poles, goosenecks, and oilfield specialty trailers, along with flat and utility beds for pickups. S&S Trailer Sales in Ness City and on the web, but remember, you do have to spell out the and.
1030 KBUF has ag programming throughout the day, beginning with Agriculture Today and Tony St. James, plus featured interviews with newsmakers, along with market updates, news from the world of agriculture, and that all-important weather. Be social with us on Facebook and Twitter. And remember, you can listen to Southwind Broadcasting Stations online at westernkansasnews.com. I'm Ken Rogers. Thanks for watching.